All right, we're live here. Virna Jandiroba versus Mackenzie Dern for the women's strawweight title at UFC 321, vacated by Zhang Weili, who's fighting Valentina Shevchenko at UFC 322. So this is a new thing in the UFC as both fighters get introduced, but it's new where when you move up, you got to vacate the title, and that's what Zhang Weili did. And both these ladies get an opportunity here. Mackenzie Dern, who's a slight favorite, we have her predicted to lose, but you probably will hear me rooting for her throughout the fight. I would like to see Mackenzie Dern win it. And just a few months ago, she's probably not thinking she's going to be in this situation. So this is a big deal for her. Both ladies looking to win the title for the first time. And Mackenzie's a fighter that was on the rise, had some setbacks, right? Had a baby, came back from that. And I want to say she lost the first fight after that and then started to go on a run. Now she's a number 5 contender. Virna Jandiroba, the number 1 contender. She paces back and forth. She's getting introduced now, and she's actually, although very slight, she is the underdog here. And it's probably because, and they fought way back in 2020, so that fight to me is irrelevant now. But she's probably the underdog only because she's never been in a 5-round fight. So if we get to rounds 4 and 5, she's in uncharted territory. So we'll discuss that if it gets that far. Both fighters coming together, getting the instructions, and we're about to be on and popping. Let's go, Dern. Let's get it. And Jandiroba with a solid ground game. Mackenzie Dern solid in the striking. So that's where the battle will lie. And it's just going to be interesting to watch this play out. It's Brazil on Brazil. So we're getting ready to have a third UFC champion, barring a draw, which is rare. Yeah, Pantoja and Alex Pereira currently the champs for Brazil. And that's phenomenal to have 3 champions for any one country, including America. Ooh, when Dern comes out throwing, and she smiles at Vina. Vina lands ahead. A kick up top doesn't land though. Dern looking very comfortable right now in the octagon. She lands a left jab and another nice leg kick by Jandiroba. Both fighters come together. Dern lands a knee and gets out of there. And you got to wonder in MMA, they watch film. Did they go back and study each other from 5 years ago? Or does that not even matter? I mean, you've had so many fights since then. They're both different. I mean, you might be able to watch it and see something, but both fighters have upgraded since then. I mean, they were, 32 and 27 at the time, roughly. Now 37 and 32. Vina comes in for the takedown. Dern shoves her down. And nice jab there by Dern. And this will change someone's life, right? When you become a champ, it's a whole different level. Even if you don't remain the champ for a while, you always got that, big right by Jandiroba. But when you become the champ, you always got that in your hip pocket, right? You're a champ forever. In other words, it's not a title that can be taken from you. You can lose, but you were still at one time a champ. So it's a big deal for both. Jandiroba landing the takedown. And this is where it gets real for Mackenzie Dern. Dern looking for the armbar. And Dern kicks off. She's going to try to get to her feet. She can't get separation. Still on her back. Jandiroba goes back to a knee. Dern doing a good job of throwing, even though she's on her back. She gets free once again, but not enough to get back to her feet. And now she does. Jandiroba goes right back in for the takedown, and they're locked in against the fence. Let us know in the chat room, is this going to be a 5-round fight, or are we going to get a finish? Hard to say. Both ladies throwing right now to try to get a finish, both connecting there with a big right. Trading punches. Jandiroba shoots in for a takedown again. She gets it. Dern doing everything she can to stay in a decent position here. Under a minute now, round one. Jandiroba 2 takedowns, 1 minute and 30 seconds of control. Striking very close. Oh my goodness. They're both trading while seated in a seated position. That's crazy. Dern back to her feet. Jandiroba still got the arms locked though. Now Dern taking a slight lead in significant strikes, 21-18. Too close to call in this round though. What you can say about Dern is that despite the 2 takedowns, she's able to maneuver and get back to her feet. And that'll do it for round one. No breaks today, y'all. This is a title fight. We're staying with it. We'll see if we get some instructions from the corner. Jandiroba's corner telling her to breathe, take a deep breath. And you know they both trained, right? Really hard for this fight. I mean, this is the opportunity of a lifetime. But again, as this fight goes later and later, you got to believe that's where the odds come in, that Dern would have the advantage in rounds 4 and 5. Getting a look at the replays here, Dern landing a big right, and then a nice jab there. Okay. And of course, Virna lands a double leg takedown. But Mackenzie Dern staying out of a bad situation, getting back to her feet. And it made for a very close round. Significant strikes, 28-18 for Dern. That's good for her. Head strikes, 13-12, very close. The takedown game, you know, slides to Virna Jandiroba, but I don't know if it's enough to get the round. I think it's going to come down to the striking, and it was very close. And a nice right to start by Dern. Now it's Dern who presses Jandiroba up against the fence. And anything is possible, but both of them defensively are good enough to me to prevent a finish. But again, anything is possible. It just seems like we're in for a long haul type of fight here, 5 rounds potentially. Now Dern comes in and takes a right though. Lands a leg kick, it's caught by Virna. And we're back to the center. And what's crazy is when they both land, they're smiling. When they get hit, they're smiling. It seems like they're both very comfortable in there, very locked in at the same time. And a lot of that in fighting is to show your opponent that you're fine, whether you are or not. Dern starting to pull away here in the striking a little bit though. 39-22, significant strikes. The takedowns will likely become more difficult for Virna, and it may start to go the way of Mackenzie Dern as the rounds go forward. As long as they're striking, Dern's got an advantage. Another takedown coming. She gets it. Virna lands a takedown. Dern on her back. If you're Mackenzie Dern here, you just got to remain calm. She continues to throw from the back position. We've seen that from the beginning. And it's kind of keeping Jandiroba off balance just enough to where she can't get into a full mount. Full guard now by Dern. Dern kicks off and she gets up. Again, getting out of the takedown. Impressive. Back to the feet. And Dern's got to feel comfortable with this fight right now. I mean, yeah, she's getting taken down. She's taking some punches here and there, but this is her comfort zone, especially in a fight against Jandiroba, right? You got a big advantage here. You double up Jandiroba in terms of what's landed, and the numbers are headed that way as well. Now, head strikes, Virna leads 26-22, so that's a big factor as well. Another takedown attempt coming. It goes to the ground. This time Dern's on top. Now they roll around a little bit. Dern's on her back. Boy, and Dern doing a great job from her back, though, landing some elbows here. Now the ref warns Mackenzie Dern. I don't know why. She's on her back landing elbows. I mean, and both, the great thing about this fight as it plays out is both need a victory. You might never be in this situation again. If Zhang Weili's still there, you're likely not winning the title. And now you find yourself in a vacant title fight. If you're Mackenzie Dern, you're fifth in the division. And it's not easy to climb up this division at all. So you get a title fight right here, you got to take advantage of it. Virna continues to control the ground now, 35 seconds left in round two. And just a great job defensively by Dern. Don't know if it's racking her up any points with the judges, but even on the ground, it seems that she's fine. Nice up kick for Dern. And Dern takes a left on her way up. She should have just stayed on the ground. That'll do it for round two. Very close fight right now. Significant strikes, 53-43 for Dern. Head strikes the other way, 35-29, and that's what worries me for Dern. Right now, she's even up by 30 total strikes, but the thing is a lot of those aren't significant. And even when significant, Jandiroba's leading in head strikes, and she's got 4 takedowns with 421 of control. Now, we saw earlier in the night, Jailton Almeida, also a Brazilian, right? Dominating, and I mean dominating the ground, and he still loses to Alexander Volkov. So it's hard to confirm how much credit you get for going to the ground. Virna's not able to do much on the ground. In fact, Dern's landing just as much while they're on the ground. Even when Dern's on her back, she's landing elbows, hammers, things like that. So she's keeping this fight close and giving herself an opportunity to win. At this point, it could be 2-0 either way, or it could be 1-1. That's how close the fight is. So if it goes to a decision, we're going to have no idea who the leader is unless someone emerges over these next 3 rounds as the dominant force. Round 3's underway. Who you got? Get in the chat room. Let us know who you got. Ooh, nice right by Virna. Now a nice right by Dern. Oh, Dern goes down at taking a right. Not so much from the punch, more of a takedown, but still. Dern doing everything she can to get back to her feet. Jandiroba prevents that from happening. So most people weighing in from Twitter got it 1-1 right now. And that's the easy way to go, but could also be 2-0. Come on, Dern, you got to get going. Now Dern goes in for the takedown, drives Jandiroba back into the fence, lands a knee. And this is what you're seeing throughout the fight. You're seeing a little bit of the strike game, 30, 45 seconds worth. Then one of the two fighters is shooting in for a takedown. Now Vina's landing elbows, Dern trying to attack the single leg. Neither fighter able to separate themselves at this point. Very close fight. Now Mackenzie shoves it off, gets back to the center. Vina shoots in for the takedown, lands a left on the way out though. And both fighters get showing a little bit of wear and tear right now. Dern landing a left, and it's just going to come down to sheer will as this fight goes on, because we're at the midway point now, 2:30 left, round 3. You would also think from this point forward, you would expect Mackenzie Dern, if she's starting to move more closer to a 2-1 favorite, so the odds are starting to shift further and further towards Dern. And that has a little bit to do with maybe people think she's winning the fight. It also has to do with, like I said, you would expect Dern to start to slowly pull away now. If she's got several fights under her belt where she's gone 5 rounds, and she's been at the top of the card on fight nights before. So, she's not in unfamiliar territory. Neither one is yet, but when we go into the next round, Jandiroba will be. Another takedown for Vina. 6 takedowns, 5-10 of control. But Dern continues to close the gap on the head strikes. It's now 44-40 for Jandiroba. We'll see how this plays out, but as long as Zhang Weili stays out of this division, you might see a rematch between these two at some point in time, right? I mean, if Dern wins this fight, Jandiroba is still the #1 contender. She's 1 fight away from a rematch. If Jandiroba wins this fight, Dern is still a #5 contender. She likely gets she'll move up to #4 just simply by everyone else moving up. So they're both really 1 fight away from a rematch. Dern continues to land elbows from her back. Ooh, and Dern landed an up kick while Jandiroba was on her knees. And the ref warns her. Allows it to continue here. Under 10 seconds left in round 3. And a nice right by Jandiroba, who may have won the round on that last strike. That's how close it was. She may have won the round on that last strike. Of all the fights this week, this one led the way. in terms of views, people talking about it, things of that nature, people weighing in through comments, all that. And that's because you expect a close fight here. A lot of people expecting Aspinall to win in the main event. We'll have to wait and see. So we're into uncharted territory for Virna Jandiroba right now, right? We're going into round 4. These are the championship rounds. Again, Dern has been here fighting in multiple fight nights at the top, right? When you're in the main event of a fight night, that fight is still going 5 rounds, just like a title fight. So Jandiroba not used to being here, and we'll see if she continues to, or if she starts to slow down. I haven't seen any signs of her slowing down yet. It's looked like a good back and forth between two really good fighters. And we'll see how it plays out. 147 to 96 for Dern total strikes, 71 to 53. Significant, but she's down by 5 head strikes, 45 to 40. So she's landing a lot of leg kicks, body strikes. I mean, body strikes, she's up 21 to 3, but you don't get a lot of credit from that from the judges. Virna dominating with 6 takedowns, but not able to do much with it, as Dern has been very patient, landing elbows when the opportunity presents itself, and then working her way out of it. Now Virna lands a left and a right. Dern doesn't like that. She comes back with a right. And Dern to me does not look tired at all. I'm just waiting to see. Oh, nice right by Dern. Waiting to see how Virna responds here. And the training will be everything, but experience is everything as well. But Dern looking motivated right now. This is like, you could tell this is where she wanted to get the fight to. People weighing in saying 29-28 Dern, 29-28 Jandiroba. And who knows? Because rounds 1 and 2 are really too close to call in my book. Oh, there you go, Dern. Let's go. Oh. And now she shoots in for the takedown. I don't know why. Stay on your feet. Nice knee by Virna. 250 left here, round 4. And when you're thinking, okay, Dern has the advantage on the feet, we're getting into rounds where Virna's starting to get tired. It's making the takedown game tougher. You got to use a lot of energy landing a takedown and controlling position. So you're not seeing as many takedown attempts now from Virna. So Dern is in a position here where she's got to really continue to pick up the pace, as she has in this round. But it's got to get more and more. Big left there by Virna. 2:10 left in the round. Oh, big right by Dern. Okay. Virna starting to slow down. Mackenzie looking like she's at the same pace, but every now and then Virna lands a big shot, big strike. It's going to be up to Dern to keep the pressure on. Head strikes is getting closer, 52 to 55 in favor of Jandiroba. Dern goes to the ground. And the ref backs off Jandiroba to let Dern up. primarily because they were there for about 10 seconds. And a nice left by Virna. Now a takedown by Dern, and that's good perception-wise. First takedown of the night. And it does feel like Dern is winning the fight. But again, you got to go, the judges got to make a decision every round. It's a very close fight, and you just can't trust the judges, right? You just can't trust them. If you're Dern, you got to try to win this round here in the final 30 seconds and win the next one to be safe. Dern trying to posture up to land some strikes. There's a tap. Dern's on top. And this is great perception-wise for Dern. If he can land something here, 5 seconds left, she lands a right. But not enough to say, hey, Dern won this round. I mean, that's how every round to me is pretty much even. It's hard as we go into the 5th round. It's really hard to say who's got the edge here. It seems like it's even. And this makes me very nervous because the judges are going to make the decision if it continues this way. Both fighters being told by their corner they're 5 minutes away from being UFC champ. I mean, that's how close this fight is. And now as you start to think about the judges' scorecards, we have no idea what they are. This is why I really would like a point system. We could see the points. If there was a point system, it'd be very close as well. But unless a judge is given 3 rounds to one fighter at this point, the fight is up for grab on the other judges' scorecards. It's not 3-1, right? If it's 2-2, it comes down to this round. If it's 3-1, that judge is already a lock for that fighter. You just have no idea what the situation is. Round 5 underway. Nice right by Jandiroba, followed by a left-right-left combination by Dern. Another right by Dern. So good start for Dern. And a left-right. Starting to pick it up now. Oh, she goes for the spinning back fist, but she's caught and landed. Virna lands a takedown here. 4:20 left in the round in the fight. Dern trying to get out of there. She does. Dern's up quick. Virna takes a second to get back up, and Virna goes right in for the takedown. She's getting tired. This is an opportunity for Dern to really get after it. Come on, Dern, you got to go. You got to get her off, and you got to go. Ladies and gentlemen, this is one of the few times where I go against my prediction. I believe Virna is going to win the fight, but I want to see Dern win. So I'm okay with being wrong on this one. Nice knee by Dern. Both fighters shove off. 3 minutes left. And the action should pick up here down the stretch. Both fighters got to go. Nice left by Dern. Now it's 66-63. Jandiroba and head strikes. That's the one area that Virna could focus on and say, hey, I'm leading in this area. It keeps the fight close, but the striking is definitely on the side of Mackenzie Dern, who now goes to her back once again. And not a good look here. She's got to get back to her feet. That's a 9 takedown for Jandiroba. But earlier in the night, as I peep back at the stats real quick, 7 takedowns for Jailton Almeida, 1050 of control in a 15-minute fight, and he still lost the fight. So you can't count on the takedowns doing very much unless the round is very close. And I would argue Volkov didn't do nearly as much as Dern is doing when he gave up all those takedowns. I mean, he barely did anything. Dern's landed over 100 significant strikes, over 200 total strikes. Boy, and Dern is just continuing to land hammers from her back so much that Jandiroba backs off. Yep, Mackenzie Dern on her butt. Ref steps in once again, and they're back to their feet. 120 left in his fight. Nice left by Virna, followed by a left-right combo. Shoot. So round by round, Dern led in the fourth, is leading in the fifth. Pretty much has led every round, only tied 25-25 in round 2. So you would think Dern is leading the fight. But that's if you take away the ground game. His final 30 could be big. Neither fighter can allow the other to pull away. Boy, a nice couple hammers there by Dern from the stand-up. Virna looking real tired now. It doesn't matter because we're near the final 10 seconds. And there's a tap. Dern lands a takedown. And then gets flipped, but she maintains top position. And that's a good look here at the end. And now she's going to pound away. 3 seconds. Lands 2 hammers, and that'll do it. And Dern back to her feet. So is Jandiroba. Both are running around like they won the fight. And now Dern is being picked up by her coach. Now Virna's being picked up. So both are being, it's almost like we're going to have a chicken fight here. As both fighters are going around the octagon on their coach's shoulders. And that's how close this fight was. I'm leaning towards Dern getting the decision. 247 to 152 in total strikes, 120 to 85 in significant strikes. Head strikes the other way for Jandiroba, 71 to 67. And then the control time, which, let's be honest, there was almost nothing done with the control time by either fighter. So if you factor all that out, the head strikes are always huge. But in terms of total striking, Dern led the fight in pretty much every round. So I'm expecting at minimum 48-47 for Dern across the board. Maybe a 49-46. And then if you get one judge to go the other way, we could have a split decision. That's just the way it appears. And barring a draw, Brazil will officially have 3 UFC champions. Here we go. Oh my goodness. I don't have a remote. Dang. Here we go. Here we go. 48-47. 48-47. 49-46 has got to be Dern, baby. It's got to be Dern. And no. Undefeated. Let's go. It's a little different here. Because no one knows who Ann New is because they're both Ann New. Mackenzie Dern! Let's go! And she's crying, and she should be. What a glorious run to get to the top for the mother. And man, dude. Man, I mean, this is a lady that was on the rise, right? Then you have a kid, and you don't want to say that's a setback, but let's be real. Us men don't have kids. She has a kid. She comes back. It takes a while to get back on her feet after that, obviously, like a year, year and a half. Then she starts to look good again. She had some setbacks after that, and then boom, climbs back and wins the title. Mackenzie Dern is the new women's strawweight champion here at UFC 320.